Hello, everyone. I'm Vidya Vemireddy. I'm a TCI scholar as well as the fifth year PhD student at the Applied Economics program at the Dyson School. And I just wanted to say that I've been associated with this program for, this is my over 4 years now. I'm in my fifth year. And it's been absolute pleasure and for the support that I received. And I just want to thank TCI for that, for me to be able to do all this research and also to communicate it to you all. And so I'm going to delve into my presentation. So I'll be talking about role of women's time in agriculture nutrition linkages. And this is evidence from my fieldwork. So from the past 2 years, I was in eastern part of Maharashtra, the state of Maharashtra in India, and this was a particular district called Chandrapur. And I was working here and I did extensive data collection for about 2 years. And my research questions were focusing on how do women spend time in agriculture across various seasons, and how does that imply in terms of trade-offs they face in time spent for nutrition activities such as cooking and such as like cleaning and childcare. So there are two basic questions. What are the implications of these time uses? And the other is, how do these time constraints that women face affect their nutrition? So the motivation for my research came from, first of all, formative research. When I went first, as part of my first year, I understood that women face immense work burdens. They do not only work in agriculture, and they're part of the agricultural systems through and through different seasons, but they also are solely responsible for household activities due to gender norms in societies such as South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. And this increasing work burdens is a growing concern in the agriculture and nutrition community because there is a concern that this may impact nutrition negatively. So I wanted to answer this and unpack this link of how agricultural time use impacts nutrition and what is the women's contribution in this sense. So to do that, I chose Chandrapur because it has an interesting combination of cropping patterns in 3 different blocks, which is Korpana, Mool, and Gondpipri. And these 3 blocks have, one block is purely cotton, the other is paddy, and then one is a mixed region, which gives me sort of the variation that is required to study time use patterns of women in agriculture. And my total sample was about 960 households, and I did multiple surveys over the period of 2 years. One was to collect household information on various things such as agricultural input use, income, health and sanitation, and their height and weight measures. And I did, to try to unpack this time use and effects of time use on nutrition, I had to first document the recipes that people are eating in that region. And I collated about 500 recipes and also standardized those to get precise nutrient information and time spent to cook those recipes as well. And one of the most important part of the survey is the time used in the diet, where each household was followed about, for 10 times across the year, where we asked them what did they eat and how did they spend their time. So using these variables to just give you a sense of how women spend their time, so this graph shows you the activities that women are doing every month. This is the average time spent by each woman per day. So we see that the lowest part of the bar graphs are the time spent in agriculture. So you can see that in peak seasons, women spend approximately 350 minutes in agriculture, and they also spend time in other activities such as cooking and domestic work. So to reiterate, I've been working on this project for a while now. So some of the findings from my work is, yes, women spend a lot of time in agriculture, and they also spend a lot of time in household activities. It just reiterates my study. And then during peak seasons, they face immense trade-offs because women have to work longer hours on agriculture, which means they have lesser time for nutrition-enhancing activities such as cooking and childcare. So these trade-offs, then I went and my findings suggest that working longer hours in agriculture are associated with lower intakes of calories, proteins, fats, iron, zinc, vitamin A, and a lot more nutrients, but I've just restricted this thing for this. So this is an interesting puzzle, and my findings are suggesting this. In terms of implication, this means a lot. First of all, a lot of the debate has focused on incomes, but it's also important to look at time, and particularly women's time, as a part of the agriculture nutrition linkages. The other thing is that these time constraints need to be kept in mind when agriculture interventions are being designed in the policy frameworks. And the future course of the research will also focus on how to come up with labor-saving technologies to reduce these work burdens that women face, and also enhance the decision-making capacities to be able to ensure better nutrition for themselves and their families. Thank you so much.